Have you ever thought that you may still be living in a dream during the day you are awake? The father of psychology, Jung, once said, "Dreams are your soul trying to talk to you. If you ignore it, you are missing the key code for awakening." What did you dream about last night? Do you still remember its details? A door, a pair of eyes. You are running, but you can't run. Maybe you will forget everything after you wake up. But in the view of Carl Jung, the master of psychology, this is not the garbage cleaning of your brain, but the secret message sent to you by your subconscious. If you miss it, you may miss the most important awakening opportunity in your life. Phase 1. The painter who self-immolated in a dream. In 1987, a young American painter, Maria, suddenly had the same dream for several consecutive nights. She was painting in the fire. The picture was distorted, the color was blood red, and a voice repeatedly said in her ear, "Stop hiding your truth." She received strict religious education since she was young and was forbidden to do art or express herself. The flames in her dreams were like her suppressed soul burning. On the third morning, she got up in tears, burned the original religious paintings, and began to create works inspired by dreams. 3 years later, she held her first dream-themed exhibition in New York, called Secret Codes of the Subconscious. She said, "It was the dream that saved me, not reality." Jung had predicted all this in his theory. Jung believed that dreams are not meaningless illusions. Every character, scene, even color and weather in a dream are the coded totems of your soul. Your dreams are actually your inner self that you have not yet realized calling you desperately. Modern neuroscience has also confirmed that the inhibition of the frontal lobe and the active emotional brain area in dreams allow us to touch the real motives that cannot be processed during the day. Then we have to ask, why do dreams hide the truth? Who is talking in dreams? Is it you, or a higher consciousness than you? Chapter 2. Is the language of dreams a mystery you can never solve? You may say, my dreams are too messy, all nonsense. But have you ever found repeated elements often appear in dreams? Do you repeatedly dream of being late for the exam? All teeth are falling out. Father is sick, or a disaster keeps repeating. Jung said, repeated dreams are the SOS of the subconscious. If you keep dreaming of losing control, maybe you are experiencing self-splitting. In reality, if you dream of being chased, maybe you are not running away from the enemy, but the Bao shadow. That is denied in your heart. What is the shadow? Jung's definition is very direct. It is the self you refuse to be. A girl who often dreams of monsters recalled her childhood trauma under hypnosis therapy. She wanted to rebel against her father, but was always told to be a good girl. Monsters are not the evil outside. It was her inner anger, wildness, and autonomy that she suppressed into the unconscious. Dreams are nothing more than the cries of these repressed selves who want to return to the stage of your life. It's like a file you deleted, but it automatically appears on your desktop at night. If dreams are awakening codes, how can we decipher them? Did Jung leave behind the real key to interpreting dreams? Chapter 3. My Real Self, Another Me in Dreams. What is awakened in dreams is not only the pain of the past, but also the real protagonist of your life. But to make dreams the key, you must first face the self that you are most afraid of facing. In 1992, in Toronto, Canada, a high school teacher named James frequently had strange dreams. He stood on the podium to give lectures, but his students turned into masked people one by one. Their faces had no facial features, only cold, blank masks, and they laughed in unison. You are not the real you at all. After waking up, he felt a strong sense of uneasiness. But in reality, he was doing well, teaching was stable, and his family was harmonious. Until one day, he suddenly fainted during a public speech. After examination at the hospital, it was found that he suffered from a long-hidden anxious personality disorder. Jung mentioned a key word in self and individuation: persona. We all wear masks in society. I am a teacher. I am a good father. I am a gentle person. But if these labels are out of touch with your true inner self, dreams will rebel and even make you sick and collapse. Jung believed that the most common conflict presented in dreams is the conflict between personality mask and true self. You think you are a caregiver, but dreams show that you suppress your aggression. You think you are tolerant and generous, but you appear in dreams again and again. This is not pathological, but the soul is balancing you. You have played the role that others want you to be for too long during the day, and dreams are helping you find who you originally were. Scientific basis for psychological conflict. Dreams are a self-integration simulator in the brain. A study published in Nature Neuroscience in 2022 pointed out that during REM sleep, the brain will perform memory reorganization plus emotional integration and activate the default mode network. This is the neural area where our self-identity and inner narrative are located. In dreams, we simulate conflicts: love and hate, responsibility and desire, light and shadow. And every contradiction in a dream is actually a confrontation between your consciousness and soul. Highlights of real cases. Dreams change the trajectory of life. Megan's awakening. True story of American spiritual podcast. Megan is a female bank executive who has had a dream for 3 consecutive months. She stood by the window of a high-rise building, and a little girl desperately pulled her hand and cried, "Take me away! You forgot me." She finally recalled in a psychotherapy session that she loved dancing when she was a child, but chose finance under the pressure of her mother. That little girl was her forgotten inner child. She quit her job, went to Paris to study dance, and opened a Dream Art Awakening workshop. She said, "Dreams are not predictions of the future, but a true call from my inner self." Chapter 4. Dreams are letters from your subconscious mind. Active imagination is the reply you write back. Jung's active imagination, the mysterious door to dialogue with dreams. One of Carl Jung's most mysterious and misunderstood methods in his life is active imagination. He himself said, "This is the most critical technology in the growth of my soul." You may think, the dream is over. But Jung taught people that dreams are not movies, but channels. You can continue to enter the dream in a waking state, talk with the characters in the dream, dance, and even change the ending. 4 steps of active imagination. Active imagination is not meditation, not daydreaming. It is a subconscious journey with conscious participation. Step 1. Immerse in the dream picture. Close your eyes, relax, and reproduce the dream picture that impressed you deeply. Step 2. Identify the characters or images to see if there are any repeated characters in the dream. Old people, children, monsters, forests, doors, fire, mirrors. Step 3. Start a conversation without judgment or control. Just ask, "Who are you? What do you want to tell me?" Let the characters respond freely, even if the response is anger, silence, crying. Step 4. Record with pictures and words. You want to materialize all of this, draw and write it on paper. This is the closed loop of active imagination. Jung's personal account, Dream Experiments in the Red Book. In the Red Book, Jung used pictures and texts to fully record his dialogues and interactions with symbolic images such as mysterious, wise men, black snakes, and holy grail women in his dreams. He did not simply record dreams, but extended dreams into a soul theater in which he staged his journey of integration of inner darkness and light. He said, "I didn't create these images, they found me." This is the key insight. Dreams are never written by us. They are the real reality deep in our souls. Scientific basis highlights new cognition of dreams and lucid dreams and prefrontal lobe activation. Modern neuropsychological research has found that in the lucid dream state, the brain's prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic, language, and decision-making, is reactivated, which means that people suddenly realize that they are dreaming in their dreams, so they can act freely and modify the dream script. Into an experiment at the Max Planck Institute in Germany in 2015, it was found that people who practiced active imagination and lucid dreams for a long time had higher self-regulation ability, creativity, and spiritual consistency. Does this mean that you are not only watched by dreams, but you can also become the director of dreams? Spiritual case sharing. Foresee the future in dreams? True story. Baby and Fire. Dream revelation. Published in The Mind Unleashed. Linda, an American nurse, repeatedly saw a fire in the baby ward in her dreams. She didn't care at first until the 7th time she dreamed of the fire. She was terrified and sounded the alarm in advance to check the circuit, found that the oxygen tank seal was faulty. She saved 4 premature babies. She said, "That was not a dream, but a warning from a higher consciousness." Jung did not completely deny the predictive nature of dreams. He called it the phenomenon of the rupture of the time structure in the subconscious. The time of consciousness is linear, but the time of the subconscious is holistic, rotating, and overlapping. Chapter 5. Dreams don't just belong to you. They are the echoes left by the universe in your consciousness. Some dreams are like prophecies written by fate. This is what Jung said when analyzing the dreams of a war survivor. This survivor repeatedly dreamed of standing in front of the railroad tracks a few weeks before the outbreak of the war, with the train roaring towards him but never getting close. Jung interpreted this as, disaster is coming, but death will pass you by. Not long after, the military vehicle he was riding in was bombed, but he was left in the camp because of temporary diarrhea and escaped. Jung proposed the revolutionary psychology mysticism intersection theory of synchronicity. He said, dreams are the way the soul uses symbolic language to resonate synchronously with the universe. This synchronicity is not based on cause and effect, but on meaning as a bridge. You dreamed that a cat died, and the next day you found that your childhood pet had passed away. You dreamed that you fell into the abyss and woke up to receive a dismissal notice. You dreamed that a stranger gave you a key and someone in reality gave you a new opportunity. These are not coincidences, but resonance points between the subconscious and the meaning of external events. Sacred archetypes in dreams, echoes of ancient wisdom. Jung believed that many images in human dreams are not personal experiences, but come from older psychological heritage. He called it the collective unconscious. The elements here are called archetypes. Wise man represents wisdom, inspiration, and cosmic laws. Mysterious woman symbolizes intuition, feminine energy, and the door to the sacred. Snake, the power of transformation, healing, destruction, and rebirth. Tower, the center of your soul, or it may be a spiritual prison. These images have appeared repeatedly in human mythology, religion, and mysticism. The archetypes in dreams are when you cross the boundary between self and God. Highlight of the true story. Indian philosopher talked to Lord Shiva in his dream. A spiritual teacher, Ravi, mentioned in his autobiography that during his ascetic retreat he dreamed of a three-eyed god surrounded by flames whispering to him every night. He thought it was an illusion until one day he saw the god in his dream, Shiva, painted on the wall in an uninhabited temple in the Himalayas. Dreams are not illusions, but a bridge for your soul to open up a greater level of consciousness. Jung called this individuation through the divine dialogue, neuroscience breakthrough, sacred state. In dreams, in 2023, MIT's dream research team proposed that in some deep dreams, especially lucid dreams or repeated dreams, the brain activates neural frequency bands such as theta-gamma interlacing that are usually only triggered during meditation, near-death experiences, or deep religious prayers. They call this the wave structure of consciousness touching the transpersonal level. That is to say, some dreams are not made by you, but received by you. It's as if the universe is sending information through your brainwaves. You have become an antenna between humans and the universe. Chapter 6. Dreams are poems of life, written by you and the universe. Awakening is when you pick up a pen and become the real author of your own story. From Jung to modern science, from spiritual mentors to real cases, dreams tell us it is not a pastime, nor is it a meaningless, messy image. Dreams are the most sincere cry from the depths of our souls. It awakens us. Don't live with other people's scripts anymore. Don't hide the real self anymore. How to awaken your life with dreams. 3-step method. Record dreams and cherish. The first time to remember them. Prepare a notebook before going to bed and write down the details of the dream immediately after waking up. Dreams are fleeting, and if you lose them, you will miss the guidance of the soul. Read repeatedly to capture symbols and emotions. Not all dreams are immediately understood, but the symbols and emotions that appear repeatedly in them must have deep meaning. For example, doors, snakes, fire, darkness, light. Each is the symbolic language of your mind. Try to actively imagine and talk to dreams. Use Jung's active imagination method to return to dreams during the day. Ask the images in the dreams and start soul dialogue. Real-life revelation. Dreams help you make a turning point in life. American writer Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love, once said, her inspiration and important decisions all come from flashes of dreams. Musician Bob Dylan's classic melodies also come from complete melody fragments in dreams. Dreams are not about escaping reality, but about finding the direction that the soul truly loves. Spiritual revelation, awakening, connecting the complete body of your soul, Jung said. True awakening is to accept the integration of self-darkness and light. The dark monsters and mysterious wise men in dreams are actually two sides of your soul. Learn to use dreams as a bridge to connect the complete self and live the most real life. Tonight, when you fall asleep again, try to say to your dream, I am ready to listen to your voice. You may be surprised to find that what is hidden in the dream is not only a mystery, but also the code of awakening. Remember, dreams are the secret language of your soul's dialogue with the universe. It is waiting for you to listen, respond, and change.